YouTube, gonna make a YouTube. What's up? I woke up this morning. I did my usual thing everybody does. That was sarcasm. I woke up, I sat up in bed, and I was waiting for my palpitations to settle down, and I was just going through stories. And I noticed that there are a lot of people that were pretty pissed off this morning in the chronic illness community because of an anti-Spoonie article that came out in the Daily Mail. I woke up because I had to jet off to an appointment, so I didn't get to look at the article or really read through it very well, but I'm going to read it now here on camera to you guys and let you guys know my thoughts about it as a Spoonie and somebody who is chronically ill. The internet has gone so far as to start a petition to try to get this article taken down, and at the time that I looked, the petition had over 10,000 signatures on it already. Let's just take a look. What did I say it was? Daily Mail? Chronic illness. Come on. Oh, helps to have Wi-Fi. Posted September 7th, 2022, so this is about a week ago on the Daily Mail UK. Title, Addicted to Being Sad. Teenage girls with invisible illnesses, known as Spoonies, post TikToks of themselves crying or in hospital to generate thousands of likes as experts raise concerns over internet-induced wave of mass anxiety. Wow. From the title alone, you can tell that this is from someone who has never had a chronic illness. Obviously. Here are the highlights of the article. Teenage girls and young women are posting upsetting footage of themselves in hospital or crying on social media. Many of them are suffering from invisible or chronic illnesses which often have no obvious cure and leave them exhausted doing daily tasks. Okay, so at least they're acknowledging that we are suffering from a chronic illness and that it is invisible, and our illnesses do leave us exhausted just from doing daily tasks. And there is often no obvious cure, and you are often just left to suffer. And it is hard. So thank you for acknowledging that. Calling themselves the Spoonies, the group often encourages each other to lie to doctors to get the diagnosis that they want. Honey! Some Spoonies suffer from MS and Crohn's disease, while others suffer from rarer ones which are harder to diagnose. Others join groups to discuss the negative side effects to their conditions and often end up competing with each other for who is sickest. No, that is not why we're on the internet, and that's not why we talk to each other. Is this person out of their freaking mind? Here's the thing that people who aren't sick don't quite get. Oftentimes, and in fact most of the time, when someone is chronically ill, they don't want to be chronically ill. Let's just nip that in the bud right now. Nobody enjoys being sick. Even people like me, I sort of get paid to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I want to feel better. So the actual reason that I go to doctors is because I have this desperate need to know what's wrong in my body so that we can fix it together so that I can go back to just living a normal life, like you. I want to post normal things on the internet, like you. But instead I have no choice. I have to live a Spoonie life. We're not even into the article yet. Let's keep going. Teenage girls with invisible illnesses are posting upsetting videos of themselves online which generate thousands of likes as part of a new community called the Spoonies. Thousands of teens are banding together on social media as part of the movement, which also encourages them to lie to doctors in order to get the diagnosis that they want. No, if you're part of a community that is trying to convince you that you should lie to doctors to get a certain diagnosis, that is not being a Spoonie. I believe the term for that is munchie, right? Change the scenery here. So here's the thing. Here's what's bothering me already about this article. Now, I haven't gotten that far into it, so I don't want to draw conclusions before I read the rest of it. But here's the problem I see already. There are two groups of sick people, and we're being lumped together. There are people who are truly ill, who really want to feel better, who do have these invisible illnesses, who are banding together and supporting each other in these communities. And yes, we are validating each other and letting each other know that what we're going through isn't crazy. Because yes, there is a really big problem in the world right now with medical gaslighting and chronically ill people not being taken seriously in their symptoms. Now, why is that such a big problem? It's because, yes, these people, obviously, they do exist. There are people on the internet who are on the internet to seek attention. They realize that channels like mine do very well because we're able to give footage that is shocking. And so people look and they want to go see it. Now, the other side of the coin though, with these videos that get thousands of likes, sometimes they go viral because they are helping thousands of people. I'm a spoonie, I'm chronically ill, but I would never tell you to lie to your doctors in order to get a diagnosis that you want. I argue the opposite. This is crazy. Posting videos of themselves crying or lying listless in hospital beds racks up hundreds of thousands of likes in some cases, with dozens of comments supporting the spoon theory. Yeah, we support the spoon theory because we feel it with our bodies that are sick. Good. Experts say that while functional disease is a real and chronic problem, they put that in quotes, it is often not the one that teens think they have. Dr. Katie Compoliti, a neurologist at Rush University Medical Center, you know how we feel about neurologists, you know this is going to be good because it's a neurologist, told Common Sense News, it's generated by anxiety in most cases, or another comorbidity, and then propagated by the ease of TikTok. Okay. The doctor admits that there's a comorbidity here. The doctor admits that something's wrong with the patient and that TikTok alerted the patient that something was up. And then the patient went to the doctor, said, hey, I matched this. And then the doctor's like, you matched something different, but they're actually saying it's anxiety. Sounds like someone I know. I have high brain pressure. That was dismissed as migraine and anxiety for 5 years or so. Communities like this saved my life because I was able to connect a bunch of dots. But yes, I was even wrong in the beginning. Oftentimes we are wrong in the beginning. A blogger coined the term spoonie in 2003, given their spoon theory a nickname, claiming a spoon equates to energy. Claiming. Parts of the community also accuse doctors of medical gaslighting, claiming that they are dismissing or belittling their patients' pain. Now, we know from experience on my channel that that would never happen. Doctors never do that. This is awful. Healthy people have unlimited spoons while sick people, the spoonies, only have a few and have to be strategic about how they use them, often by doing everyday tasks. Yeah, what's the problem? Some spoonies suffer from MS and Crohn's disease, while others suffer from rarer ones which are harder to diagnose, such as PCOS, RA, endo, and POTS. They actually mentioned POTS. Others suffer from functional disorders which don't have any physical cause, cure, or a set of medical tests for diagnosis. That's kind of similar to what happened to me. Many of the women complain about being ignored or misdiagnosed by doctors on the app and share their rawest moments to give others an insight into what life is like with their diseases. That is what we love to do here. We love giving people insight, educating, making sure other people know what disabled people are going through to help with disabled people's access problems, and just making sure that you guys know that you're not alone and you're not crazy, because I believe you. I know that these symptoms can happen. Don't listen to the Daily Mail. Some of them also make money off of their platforms, of which some have hundreds of thousands of followers, by using it to promote offers for glasses or supplements. I'm wondering what the punchline here is going to be. I'm scrolling through some photos of some spoonies who have bravely posted themselves in really vulnerable positions. I will link this article below, by the way, so you can see the one I'm reading. Dr. Mark Sullivan, a psychiatrist at the University of Washington Medical Center, is concerned that the internet has created communities of grievance that led patients to adopt victim mentalities. That I can actually totally get behind, because when you are surrounding yourself with other people who are sick and sad, it can make you feel sick and sad. So that's why I want this community to be positive, supportive, uplifting. We believe each other, we acknowledge each other's pain, but then we also encourage each other to do better, to continue to be active in our communities. We encourage each other to keep talking to people who are not spoonies and let them know, let them in on the personal sides of our lives. And we encourage each other, of course, to get the proper diagnosis so that we are treating the proper illness, because otherwise the problem is you run into situations like what was happening to me, where I was treating the wrong illness and I was causing further harm in my body by doing so. So while I agree that this victim mentality is definitely a big problem online, and yes, I think teenagers are susceptible, women are susceptible because we like to be involved in a community, it's also doing a huge disservice to the chronic illness community and spoonies at large to lump us all into this attention-seeking, you should lie to your doctors sort of group. It's just a dangerous thing to do, to say spoonies are like this, chronically ill people are like this, especially when it's paired with real, huge, and life-altering diagnoses like Crohn's, POTS, rheumatoid arthritis. We have endo and PCOS coming up in this article. These are real, disabling conditions for people. People are suffering, losing their jobs, their lives, their homes because of this disability. This is not something to joke about or brush off. Look at this. Now we're talking about someone named Morgan Cooper. Hold on. One woman posted on social media that her psychiatrist told her to lose weight to feel better and complained that it made her feel in shambles. Members of the group rallied around, with one even offering to send the doctor an anonymous email to explain the damages of claiming someone's weight was causing their mental or physical problems. Being over or underweight, or even ideal weight and just not the right shape, can give people body image issues, which can turn into true mental disorders. Being overweight does make you more susceptible to certain diseases, and so it's not bad for the doctor to mention that you should lose weight if you are unhealthily overweight. Should the doctor shame you? No. Is it bad to be overweight? Is it shameful? No, of course not. But this author does have a point, that this victim mentality, this I'm stuck where I am doomed to this, and I want to be part of this just sad situation, is very harmful for especially young teenage minds that are very vulnerable and susceptible to influence. One person was diagnosed, this woman, Morgan Cooper, was diagnosed with median arcuate ligament syndrome when she found the community and described feeling as though she was less alone with them. We all know that feeling of less alone. She told Common Sense, "I had one video just called I'm sick and the thumbnail was me crying. On Instagram, whenever I would post a picture of me looking sad or with pills in my hand or in a wheelchair, it would get like 2,000 likes. She even joined a Snapchat group called Sick B-Words where they would message about negative things in their lives." Very common, right? Very common to have support groups. This is not unique to the chronic illness community. I mean, if you go through a divorce, you join a divorce group. If you go through the death of a child, you go to a grieving group. That's what people do. We band together when we're going through illness, but the problem with being chronically ill is that we're not well enough to go to places, so we have to meet each other online. The internet is a very powerful tool for that. I have met so many wonderful people, especially in my Patreon. Just these people are so good and so loving. But we live on opposite sides of the universe. There aren't that many people with our conditions. We have to meet each other online. We don't have a choice. It's just really sad to see a magazine this big allowing such a, I don't want to call it a biased article, but it's just kind of insulting for those of us who are not in this for attention. You guys know that I'm on YouTube because I lost my job as a scientist, but I tried. I'm not fainting on YouTube so that more people can see me faint. I'm fainting on YouTube because I watched someone have a seizure on YouTube and it helped us identify my seizures. Someone has to be brave and show themselves in those vulnerable positions so that families and other people can look at the footage and see what's going on with themselves. Because, sorry, the doctors aren't doing their due diligence, and the doctors can't see our episodes like we can. The doctors can't know our symptoms like we can. Even if they could, they're not freaking asking. I've gone in with footage of my episodes. They're not watching. They don't have time. So yes, a lot of the burden is on the patient. I don't think people understand that unless they've been through it. 5 years ago, me would watch my YouTube videos today and think that I have lost my mind. Yeah, but this really is what it's like when you're sick. You really are desperate. You really do want to feel better. But let's continue to listen to how this woman felt. She claims that she felt like she needed to pad her own pills out with supplements to make her own situation seem more dire on social media, and admitted to feeling jealous of a girl who looked more sick than her. See, that is not because she's a spoonie. That is because she is a spoonie who does not have enough support. That is a mentally hurting spoonie. But the fact that she is a spoonie is not what is making her jealous that someone else is sick. Feeling jealous that someone else is more sick than you, that's a problem. One of the girls she followed was promoting salt tablets, which can help with the lightheadedness brought on by POTS. Some others cashed in on brand deals with probiotic-filled snack bars marketed under the slogan, "Hot Girls Have IBS." Guys, being a YouTuber and getting brand deals and sharing supplements, like that's stuff that we're doing in our day-to-day lives. And people are like, oh, what supplements do you take? Does this author expect that someone who has lost their job due to illness and found a supplement that helps them would market the stuff and not have like an affiliate link? I guess what I'm trying to say is, what's the alternative to what this person seems to not really like? And I hope that they're only complaining about the spoonie community that they are complaining about. And I hope they're not trying to lump all of us together. Mary Beth Marshall, 27, from Florida, dropped out of college to focus on healing from fibromyalgia and then EDS. She said, "You can get addicted to being sad and sick and the attention you receive. The misery loves company thing makes you sicker." Well, that's really, really sad to hear. She goes on to say, there might be something you're gaining by having this diagnosis, like that it's keeping you from a job that you hate or from responsibilities that you don't want to do. Needs support, needs some therapy. Oops. There's a nice inlaid YouTube video here, or Instagram video rather, sorry, where there's a woman who's celebrating that she sat up on her own for like 2 minutes to take a picture. She's saying that it's okay to grieve the life that you had before chronic illness. And she was crying, saying, trying to accept the reality that you'll be sick for the rest of your life and you'll never be able to do the one thing you lived for. And in the background, there's her figure skating. Guys, as a former gymnast, martial artist, I get that. That makes me feel so warm to see and so accepted for who I am, because I have those moments too, of course. I probably shed a tear at least a couple of times a week thinking about how it could be, what kind of mom I could be like, or thinking about the things that I miss. It takes a lot of vulnerability and strength to post that on Instagram. And the reason why it takes so much strength to do that is because there are people like this who are just saying that it's for attention. We don't need it. Those of us who are not attention seeking do not need this. Here's, I guess, the point of all of my rambling. When someone is showing themselves at their rawest, and there is a bug right Did my eyes cross? I hope my eyes cross. When you have an illness, guys, oh man, I don't know what I was saying. One more thing, guys, about the petition to get this taken down. I did not sign it. I do not plan on signing it. I'm an American. I believe in freedom of speech. And if this is how they feel about it, I think that this is the best way for us to respond to it. I think the best thing that we can do is not silence their speech, but bring it out so that we can explain why this was not an accurate representation of who we are. It's clear that there are pros and cons to the communities that we have developed online. So let's just use this as a learning experience to be mindful in the future of how we interact in these communities. And let's use this as a way to strengthen our little momming with migraine community here. We don't need to agree on everything in order to be friends. A lot of people don't feel that way nowadays, but that is 100% how I feel. And so some of you guys might just be fuming about this article. You want it taken down. You hate the defamation. You hate that people are going to read this and take it seriously. I get it. I don't want false information on the internet either, but the fact of the matter is it's going to happen all the time. Guys, if you Google me, Jen from Momming with Migraine something, there's a whole Reddit on our illness fakers about how I'm a munchie and I've been making it up. I'm not going to go attack them. That's such a waste of my time and energy. Okay, so they think I'm faking it. So what? I don't know them. I don't know this Daily Mail person. So I'm going to just be mindful of this stuff. I'm going to try to make sure that my community doesn't end up being a community like this. And I encourage you guys to go out, be good in your Spoonie community today, and let me know what you agree or disagree with me about down in the comments. Love ya. Hit subscribe. See you later.